I'm at the Capitol regularly and I'm talking to my colleagues who are Indigenous, my colleagues who are Black, and my colleagues who are either advocates for or living with disabilities, we often recognize that just simply by being here, we are doing something radical.
My number one motivation has always been my daughter. And the realization that I am not going to be here forever. And when I'm gone, I need our community and our world to be a better place for people with disabilities to live.
I think public policy drives that dialogue, drives that conversation, that discussion around what does full inclusion look like? What does dignity of risk look like? What does having people with disabilities sitting at the table making critical decisions look like? Really having true voice.
We shouldn't be making decisions for people without them at the table. Full stop, ever.
Hello, my name is Kurt Rutson. I've went a lot to committee meetings and I testified a lot. They've talked to the governor, but after he saw my testimony, he changed his mind on some bills. I'm proud of that.
With great feedback and insight from organizations like ARC to make sure that we're meeting the needs of very important stakeholders that, quite frankly, sometimes aren't always thought of.
I testified for my first time last year in support of legislation that would require housing that received public bonding funds be accessible for people with sensory and physical disabilities. This year, I am partnering with ARC again and continuing to advocate for important policy changes that would create more accessible housing that works for people who use wheelchairs or need sensory accommodations.
I think it's important for us as a state to prioritize and understand the needs of all of our residents, especially folks living with IDD, and make sure that they're able to live independently, but also with the services that they need, living with dignity as well. And that's been the main theme that we've been hearing within our committee the past couple of years as I've served. We want to live with dignity. We're not asking for too much.
It is always important for people with lived experience in any way to be involved in public policy. But it is especially important for people with intellectual disabilities because that rarely happens.
When you bring self-advocates, policy advocates, legislators, decision makers, policymakers together at the table, that is where the magic happens. That is where positive, enduring change can be made.